Bang bang badang ding dang diggy diggy digging bang badang ding ding boy. Bang badang ding dang diggy diggy digging bang badang ding ding ah. Yes, black to black, 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 black to black. Look, there's no need to worry and no need to fret. If you think we was finished, we ain't done yet. This is the platform where you can get informative topic with real intellect. Play talk good manners, raise the antennas. Andre and Karen, that's host the vibe. Facebook, Spotify and Instagram. You could also catch me on the YouTube live with positive content back to back. I'm inviting all people to black. Yes, Lobby and Power is black to black. And everybody invited. So share it and like it. For we all are united and black to black. Yes, Lobby and Power is black to black. And everybody invited. So share it and like it. For we all are united and black to black. Yes. This is your mortal immortal, inviting each and everyone to log on to all streaming platforms to black with your host Andre and Karen. So subscribe, share, like and comment, and come along. Let me enjoy the vibes. Diggy diggy, black to black, diggy diggy diggy, black to black, black to black, black to black.
Nation complaining like a sickness, it's so pervading. But I'm not looking for trouble, not caught in that bubble. I'm a social athlete, a scaling that hurdle. Brother Valentino sing Trinidad is nice. Trinidad is a paradise. But now the thing different, can't you see? Paradise lost the irony. But you sing about a nation on the rise. Well, excuse me, my friends, I apologize. So don't mind me for what I reveal. Don't mind me if the pain feel real. If we're losing we soul, don't mind me if it takes a toll. Don't mind me if they're lying to we. In time you will see. I talk enough time to use your eyes. No more disguise. I apologize for burning these images before your eyes. I apologize. That's what we say. We could walk brave whether night or day. But like we blind to the fight and the struggle still here. For the days to come we have to prepare. Dr. Stalin sing better days coming. Better days are coming. We forever peeping like a gatekeeper. Still girls sing about fat. Don't antagonize. I say excuse me, my friends, the pie. I talk enough time to use your eyes. No more disguise. I apologize. As I sing the last call so you could be wise. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Please pardon me. To our social commenters, big respect. Your talks of the future we reject. Now we did not prepare and the future is here. Lost sight of we roots, we don't have a care. Nappy Maya sing about the old time days. He said he won back the old time ways. But with the crack of a whip, it hits nostalgic. We hoping the problems vanish like magic. Jump, wine, jam iron, ha ha. Oh, sweet disguise. I say, excuse me, my friends. I apologize. So don't mind me for what I reveal. Don't mind me if the pain feel real. Don't mind me if the rich get more. Don't mind me and the poor stay poor. Don't mind me. Big business don't care. The divers just disappear. I talk enough time to use your eyes. No more disguise. I apologize. Are you ready for the truth or do you rather lies? I apologize. Pardon me. I'm so sorry. I'm a griot. I don't deal with lies. So I apologize.
Greetings, black to black, greetings. Welcome black.
And we are
here with the one and only Lady Adanna, my lord.
Pleasant night, everyone. Nice to be here again.
Yes, it's great to have
It
you
is great to have you back. I think she's probably the second or third person to come back. Yeah.
That's not a problem. And I come back again.
This episode come about this conversation that we had. Like this was Carnival Monday or something. So
Yeah.
after Monday or Sunday, like when I catch myself, it's like 2 hours we going
we back and forth. I don't know why we didn't just call each other.
And some of the things that was said, it was unbelievable to me. But I want to tell you this, right? I come in the shop, tell Karen, no, right, yeah. So little Karen afraid that, yeah. A couple of weeks later, I come in the shop and I hear a conversation going on. And some of the things sound so similar to what you were saying. I want to start this first by saying this episode is not to attack nobody.
No.
But this episode is to shine light. And the only people who don't want light shine is who are think that they feel they need to keep in the dark.
Correct.
Yeah, but then if things that in the dark would stay in the dark, they would not be the same that what in the darkness come to light.
Right. Right? And I tell them plain black to black and funded by none of them.
Correct.
You understand? All they do put nothing in this to say. And from day one, I tell Karen this, and I know he seconded. I don't want nothing from nobody that would take away from the integrity of what I want to do.
Correct.
Me ain't trying to sound like no saint or no nothing.
Yeah.
But I don't want nothing from a quote-unquote sponsor that will be able to come back and say, well, you can't wear them red jerseys on them.
And you can't say that.
Stop that. Yeah, you can't say that.
Right. Or, you know, when a man say, God save the creative, he say, nah, I that's in line enough. No. You know, anybody that would want to sponsor Black to Black, I don't understand that we coming and we dealing with issues here.
Yeah.
We ain't favoring nobody, right? So this particular one here, because once we get into some of the conversations that we was having that day,
Yeah.
we know that when it reached to them, they will be uncomfortable. They will, but it had to be hard because it wasn't the first time that I hear some of them things, but it's the first time I hear it from somebody who actually happened to, who were actually there.
Yeah.
You know, to hear this kind of thing. I mean, the end product we see in there. We know
it's
the
look
kind
nice,
of
huh?
nastiness that,
Yeah,
like literal nastiness.
It's look
I was real surprised at that conversation.
I am surprised that people are still surprised.
And again, you know, that surprises because this year I feel like I was vested in the semis. Like I needed to watch it. You was performing as a former guest. Squeezy ranking as somebody who done here, and as somebody that I know, quote unquote, I don't like the term hustling. I really, really don't like it.
Yeah, but
working on the streets, selling him music, long time now. I buy music from Squeezy ranking and thing now. And then we just had him on the show, and then he made the semis, and then young brother, you know, we was real. We was inside of here watching Calypso more semis now. So what we see on the TV, and then have a discussion with you.
the actual experience.
That's why it was surprising.
The actual experience is something else. It's not what we see on the TV. But then that's TV for you. You understand? That's TV for you. The only time you get the real thing or as close to the real thing as possible is if it's a documentary. And they just fix that too.
Yes, correct.
You understand? Just fix that too. The only thing you can't doctor or fix, or you shouldn't be doctoring or fixing, is if you do the research and you collect data. You can't change that. That's it. You understand? And if I read what you write because of the data that you had, and that data comes back 10 years from now, it's supposed to say the same thing.
Correct.
So that's the only thing you can't fix.
Correct. Somebody said again feedback. No, that's because the camera was on, but you fixed it, yeah. So
we sitting here watching Calypso Mona. How long have you been Calypso here now?
1994 is my first Calypso.
Right. Now, the reason why that I'm stuttering is because I could calculate that easy in my mind. Right?
Form 2. I was in Form 2.
Right? But also, you know, the joke we see the memory, we see what? Somebody say 30 years ago, and automatically my mind went to 1970. And then the reality of the maths out of that 30 years ago was 1990 something. So 1994. What was the first time that you went into the big yard?
First time I went to the big yard would have been 2016.
2016.
Yeah. I mean, I visited on other occasions for other reasons.
Right.
You know, I went and sang background vocals for Ras Commander when he made it.
Right.
I went and supported the Calypsonians because to me, that is how Calypso was.
Right.
That's what we used to do. You make it, I didn't make it. Well, we still make it.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You hear what I say? Not you, you know. We still make it. I go in with you.
Yeah.
You know, if I had to be a prop, if I had to sing chorus, I go in too. That's how I know Kaiso used to be. It's not the same anymore, but
so
you gotta fix that.
Yeah, from then, going in with other people, then when you make it to now, any difference?
Plenty difference. People just turn into the thing with the four legs, the long hairs, and the tail. People just turn into that. Coming close to Judges Night, and from the time we learn that okay, I qualify for the finals, that whole animal just jump out. And that's when the thing they start to get different. Now there are a few of us who don't practice that shippiness.
Right.
but it is something that has become very prevalent. It's disturbing. And I remember having a discussion with a friend of mine who in the business, in the fraternity, you know, and she's saying to me, she said, Marsh, well, she don't call me Adanna. Marsh, we had to fix this, you know, because we had to take back Calypso. We had to take it back and bring it back to what it is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because it seems that the competition is coloring the thing, you know, and changing people, and people have got to realize that Calypso bigger than all of us. We have over 100 and we might be about 108 or 9 or 10 years of recorded music. We have over 100 years of recorded music. And Calypso is existing before the first recording. So if it had alive so long, I am not 100. My mother close to 100. But Calypso around before she. And she's 92. Right? Why we fighting amongst ourselves for something that is so old? This is a legacy that we own, or that we are loaned. Because if I own it, when I go, it's supposed to go with me, and it is not going to do that. My music gonna stay, and I go on. You understand?
That's the point.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
So that we have longevity, and we just not. I think we're missing the boat.
So my question is, on that particular point there, right? How we taking it back? I mean, I have some ideas in my head, but I kind of radical.
From you as somebody who in it.
Yeah.
How are we taking it back? Well, the first thing we had to realize is that a lot has changed. People have changed. So people's attention span a little different now than it was back in the day. We have social media that makes everything just right there.
Yes.
So that we have to take a close look at what we are putting out as artists, and I can speak from that perspective.
Right.
We have to take a close look at what we're putting out there, because people not coming to the Calypso tents, and we're trying all kind of things, but we're doing the same things with the song. When they come to the Calypso tent, what they coming to hear? Not the song?
Yeah.
So if you're doing the same thing with the song, you could change the venue.
Yeah.
You could change the decor.
Yes.
And they give me the same song. I still ain't coming.
True.
Right? And we started to get so focused on the big lyric song, or the competition song, that we forget what the essence of Calypso really is.
Yeah.
And then we started separating and we breaking it down. So you're coming to judge Calypso, and you're going to attack the humorous song if it makes it to the finals, because it's a humor. But what is the social issue that the humor dealing with?
Yes.
And we don't see that.
Yeah.
We are watching that at all. So we take humor and we throw humor in the background. So everybody have these big songs that
Super serious.
That 9 minutes long.
Being comment to hear that.
So that's one of the ways.
Right.
That's one of the ways
Right.
to fix it, so that we could take it back. We had to own this thing. We had to realize the personalities and the people that bringing it forward. If we want to keep the competition, I am not a big supporter of competition. I feel competition has caused the whole thing to zigzag and go in the next direction.
I agree.
But everybody want to win the million.
Written chef. Yeah.
Everybody want to win.
Yeah.
So if you sing jump and make a backflip, and that win this year,
next year everybody backflip.
Exactly. Everybody want to jump and make a backflip.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if you sing ABC or a nursery rhyme, next year, the following year, everybody singing a nursery rhyme. Because everybody want to win.
Yes.
And we lose the whole ancestral essence of what our Calypso is.
Yeah, because I mean, last year when the whole bacchanal take place with Coco, right? I was upset, because I saying, but how you could, what make you feel so convicted in yourself that you could sue a man for a calypso? When the calypso is what a man will tell his story. And if you're doing shippiness where you're a public figure, and I sing a song about you, I'm not supposed to be under scrutiny to the point where you could sue me for defamation, right? And then this year, Chalk does. When I hear him say what he say and thing, I kind of take a little offense to it, because while I understand where he was coming from, I feel like he went about it the wrong way, right? In that saying, because calypso, there's no right and wrong way to do calypso in my mind. You could correct me if I'm wrong, because you just say comedy is a form. Then you had the serious ones. Then you had the political commentary where you're going and licks. Because remember, a long time the Prime Minister used to come and sit down in the thing and listen and take his jam.
What did Eric Williams say to the said so chokers?
Tell them.
He tell him like Jack Asbury? Didn't he say that?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Right.
So that whole poking fun at public figures has always been part of Calypso.
Yes.
That is the picong.
Yes.
That is the Calypso was the voice the voiceless. So that people on the ground saying this man is at this and this man is at that and this man is the next thing. And then the Calypso then come and take what you say by the rum shop or the junction or on social media.
Yes.
No social media, because I would go through social media to see what people say to write a song.
Yeah.
Right? When I wrote my Calypso social media, I live on social media.
You could tell.
You understand?
Yeah.
Tell my husband, so you don't coming off that? Because it's whole day as well.
Yeah.
And I just pulling things off.
Content.
Right?
Yeah.
Content.
Yeah.
So that Calypso has always done that. But then again, is who started carry the Calypso inside the court for the Calypso bacchanal? Who was doing that? Is we self do that?
Yeah.
And we feed straight into that system that was designed to muzzle the African voice. I ain't saying the Calypso, the African voice.
Yeah.
That's why it was designed like that. There's still things on the books designed to do that. And we feed into that. I remember sitting in a meeting and saying that we on the boat and we missing the boat. And how you could be on a vessel and miss the vessel.
Yeah.
We had to stop doing that. I mean, just started to think before we act.
Yeah.
And then when we think, don't just think for the action now, but think
Down the road,
what is it going to do? We open the courthouse door.
Yeah.
And we start to live there.
Yeah.
Because everybody want to win.
True. Yeah, well, it's more than once we had that conversation about is the competition really killing the art forms? And we had Omari on, and Omari, he put his 2 cents in and thing, and he said, well, you feel like the competition should evolve. I find it need to stop. Because as long as there is a prize, you find that certain people, because remember, it have a system that if you is the CEO, and I in your circle, I in your network, I can get to you. Right? And me and you could sit down and network and thing, and when they hear the shout, it's because I either in the last 3 or I get a little piece of the kitty. You understand me? That is what Trinidad is. Right? But in the grand scheme of things now, if we move away from that, because what I like to do is use America as the example. And you look at it, America don't really have no competition. And no competition for hip hop, it has no competition for rap. The ultimate prize is the Grammy, right? Which is an award, not a dollar.
It's not a competition.
Prize, it's not a competition. So you find that now, yes, that have its own racket running in it too, but the reality is, if we look at that model and we change it, now everybody will eat our food. Because at the end of the day, if nobody competing, then everybody will be able to perform here, there, everywhere, and the money should I saying should, because it's utopian mind, right? It should spread, So I know you
no. I have seen, I experienced both sides of it because I compete or have competed.
Right.
I've reached to the point now where I feel I should not be competing because competition is bringing out that whole crab in the barrel thing because of, and that's what you're saying,
Yes.
because of how it is structured.
Yes.
Now, I was a contestant in a competition in 2012 for the 50th anniversary, right, of independence. There was a songwriters showcase.
Right.
I was a part of that competition. Up to now, I have not felt like I was competing against anybody but myself. And I'll tell you why. First to begin, we had some seminars to attend with people involved in music. We met with the band who was going to be accompanying all of us, right? We sat in an open forum where we could have critiqued each other's work. You know, if you had changed this word here, this would actually be more impacting. And we had some vocal training, pronunciation, things like that. And then came competition night. Oh no, the rehearsal. When it came to my song, and I started to rehearse, so the writing, the music, the stage management writing down now, we give you a spotlight. We put you on. You not to move to sing this song. You're going to stand up here, and we make a little ramp, and they put me on top of the ramp, and I stood there and I sang my song. Who had to move? Who needed dancers, got dancers.
Right.
And I remember the director of culture at the time said to me, smile, Adanna. When you smile, the entire room lights up. So, and you see, at this point in the song, we needed to smile with your whole heart. Now, there's a competition, and the people who competed in the competition are agreeing with her, yeah? And telling me, yes, do that. And we were rooting for each other. So everybody win that competition. At the end, there were 6 people that went forward. So it was not like you had a outright winner, but there were 6 people. There was Urfanav's voice, Alicia Jagasa, Hollis Wright, myself. I can't remember who's the 6th. Right? A young lady who sang a very lovely song. She and all had spotlight and things. But it didn't feel like a competition.
Right.
The standard was good. We had a dress rehearsal. You saw so that the stage management could see which lights would work for you and which kind of setting would work for you. You know, I could tell you beforehand that my outfit was blue, so they knew which lights.
Right.
Top class. And that is something that you'd want to showcase to the world.
Yeah.
And then we have our competition. When you run in and you get a 5-6 minute rehearsal, you run on your song once, you might run it down twice. This year, with Oral and Razor Sharp, he ensured that everybody was comfortable. My first experience in the Mashkara was not like that. Was, yeah, you got there? Yeah, she got there, man, next. And I'm like, huh?
So before you go any further with that, because you actually say something that I was thinking just now, with the competition wise, and then Mortel come and comment here. Everybody who come in on the chat, blessed night, competition is healthy when it is judged fairly. However, competition is a part of life before and after. I do see no reason why the competitions of them can't continue. You know what is the killer in it? The killer in it is we mindset going forward. Because we have pictures where we've seen some of these ancient Calypsonians, and I only saying ancient because some of them passed on. But we've seen pictures with them together. We're hearing the stories of them, the things that they do together. But those competing.
Yeah.
Same way.
Yeah.
So it is possible to have the competition, but now we, with all the spaces and places, you can see somebody without going to a concert. Egos in play, because now you can pull up everything here. Each one of we can go on a different app and watch this very same soca artist.
Yeah.
Or Calypsonian. Right? That way just described there also shows that we don't take the continuance of Calypso seriously. Because that competition treated like something we had to learn. So when, let me just say, one of the young artists and them who make it to Skinner Park this year, and this was the first time encountering such a big stage, a big song system, everything. Where's the teaching aspect in that? Because we're claiming that all is the future, right? And this is where some of the things I say people had a problem with. I have a problem, well, I see it didn't enter this year, I don't know, with chalk dust 5 years ago in competition. Right?
5 years you going to for.
Right, because
He was just in that the other day.
right. Use it 10 times when I have a concept for that, you know. I think we should have a throne room in Skinner Park and the Mashka. And the throne room is for the past winners. One time winner might be the space might be needed too big. If you win it twice and up, we could fit everybody. But the idea is over a certain age, just like how you should retire at a certain age, over a certain age, you're not in the competition anymore. But we have a throne room for you. So Lady Adanna won already, and she passed the age to enter. That throne room is only accessible by the media and contestants. The contestants coming to you for some kind of insight, some kind of knowledge, some kind of advice. Because that video, what I tell them, I look at just set up how nice, and I man listen to Chuck does talk history already. Calypso and was blown away.
Yeah, he's a
that,
boss.
That
he's
video,
a boss when it comes to that.
That video that I see there, I was let down as a youth.
Yes.
He can't come and tell me nothing. You know why? I never see a video that somebody take, whether it's with your consent or without. Were you talking about? Well, I hear Swaggy lead sing a song, and the way that youth man craft that song. Wow, I never hear you talking and bigging up them young artists and them.
No, I see that in two ways. What he said was fueled by the very people that was making the video.
Yes.
Right.
Agreed.
And we
take that fire.
Right. Everybody had to take some licks, including the men who were encouraging the conversation and laughing at it. You understand?
Agreed.
Everybody had to take licks.
Right, but here was my thing in that.
But I understand.
I don't disagree that.
I understand what you're saying.
But here is my thing in that. Where while we know them, they probably try to chain up whatever.
Yeah. Plenty chain up and on.
Whereas Chuck does positive reviews and views on young Calypso and the amount of time that you're doing this thing. And it's the same thing I asked Karen during the pandemic, you know, I say, where we soca artists and them here, boy, you know what a forward from Bungie or Marshall would do for you, boy. All you doing in this age of social media is, boy, I hear a song from Karen there, boy.
Yeah.
That thing sound good. The name of the song, so that is all you have to do. That is all. And everybody going on YouTube.
Yeah, right? Find it. That's true.
But somehow or the other, we don't have it. And it is the same thing in Calypso.
I think it goes big. That's the society. My husband is always saying, you know, we living in a real cry down society, you know. We like to cry down each other.
Yeah.
we don't see the good in each other. And I want to tackle that Calypso. That was the topic of that whole bacchanal. Axioman. I want to talk about that right now.
Let's go.
You understand? What is the social issue that Calypso was dealing with? Is it exactly? It is the gospel truth. She didn't lie.
No.
And what I had to put somebody in their place about that song. I said the first thing I need to do is identify who is the storyteller. And did the storyteller's persona suit the song? You can't argue with me with that. Because Terry put on the persona and she delivered the Calypso.
Yeah.
If you was going to talk to somebody in this generation, now today, like my youngest daughter, right? And you come and your friend come to say so and so and so and so. My child will say, well, you ask your man. Don't ask me, ask your man.
Yeah.
Because that's the nature of her mouth.
Right.
Well, right. So what wrong with the song then?
Not one thing.
Because do females fight? Yes. And it's not big woman alone. It filtered down now when you see in the fights taking place in school uniforms and two little girls fighting over a boy.
Yes, that's right.
And if Calypso is addressing that issue, don't fight with each other. Ask he why. How come? You're getting paid Friday, but you have no money Saturday.
Yeah.
How come it's 2 houses you're mining?
Yeah.
If you know you can't afford to mine 2 houses, then don't do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Tell the woman the truth.
And that was my issue with regards to the way how he approached the criticism, saying that, and then you went even further to say that Elon Francis was the best of the worst lot.
Well, I
I mean,
I disagree that totally.
I'm not sure I can't identify how that applies to the crop of Calypsonians that made it to the finals.
That for me, that's a
I
whole...
mean,
no, I mean,
as a Calypsonian, and you had made it to the finals. That's a disrespect to you and all.
But I feel kind of hurt because I felt that I apologize was a boss guy. So
yeah.
But then, as we were saying, Calypso, everybody have a boss guy. So at the end of the day,
yeah.
you could be singing a stump my toe on a stone with no rhyme and no melody, but in your head, your Kaiso is a boss Kaiso. But apart from that, you know, I think we have to really seriously, if we keep crying down the thing, then what is the public going to receive?
Yeah.
I just always say, people just buy what you sell. So if you're selling me as bad, then there are people who will buy it as bad. You understand what I'm saying? But now, on another note, you know, understanding the nature, because that is my professor. I love him as, you see, prof.
Yeah.
Don't touch my prof when it comes to that.
Right.
Right? And when I understand, because I understand the nature of the individual, I see beyond the statement now to the fact that we have a problem in Kaiso. We have a problem with the way it is judged. We have a problem with how people perceive certain things about the Calypso, and that is what we need to fix. Yeah. So coming out of that, beyond the statement and how it was received and the hurt and the disgust and the disagreement, we jump over that now to the nature of the human being, listening to his conversations in a classroom about the very sad art form that we're speaking about. What I receive from him is that we have an issue. And the first issue with what took place in the Marsh Gras this year and previous years is that we have a problem with the judging system.
Right.
From prelims to finals, there are issues that need to be addressed if we want to keep the competition and take it further.
Right.
We can't continue doing the same thing and expecting different results.
So, with that said, Sheldon Mendoza writes something here that I
read in Sheldon, busy out here, boy.
You see, when you look at the presentations and stage construction and decor done by the private promoters compared to what is to what the national events have, you have to wonder if they are stuck in the next time zone. And I think you're alluding to something like that earlier on now, like how we moving forward. Right? It's real hard to sell a 25-year-old who does only go certain fets, it's hard to sell them skin apart.
Yeah.
Just simply on how it look.
You know, I get my 21-year-old grandson to actually listen to Calypso. He helped me write I Apologize. Because the boy was talk bare foolishness. I don't say like my Bajan cousin, the man talk bare foolishness, you know. You understand? That boy's a clown. But I had the song so long. I had that song, I Apologize, since 2016. So after Carnival, having made the finals, the person who wrote A Murder Day approached me with I Apologize.
A Murder Day.
Yeah, A Murder Day was the song that I sang in 2016.
Right.
So after that, he was, I think he was in New York. He sent me the lyrics for I Apologize. And I've been trying to sing that song since then. That song beat me all how. I put it down. I sing something else. I wrote a song for 2017. Coming back out for 2018, I pick up I Apologize again. It beat me. I say, see this? I sing it. I sing it. And this year, I was not planning to compete. And my daughter said to me, Mommy, it's time for I Apologize. I said, but the song beating me. She said, I'll beat it back.
Now your mouth?
Yeah. She said, I'll beat it back. She said, I had to beat back the song. Write it over. So, trying to write it over. Calling my grandson. Now working on people furniture for Christmas. I late in terms of
delivery.
In terms of where I should be, where my song is concerned for the next year.
Right.
But I'm working on people furniture and they're helping me because he downstairs and he helping me pick out staple and all kind of thing. And I said, boy, I have a song to write. He said, well, bring it because we talking strippiness while we working. And he started to sit down with pen and paper and he started to mess around with his song. And I had the don't mind me part. But he started, in the talking of the foolishness now, he started to address issues through the eyes of a youth. So, don't mind me if the pain feel real. That is he. Don't mind me if they take a raise. That is he. Because I'm watching at 21 now and you carrying up your salary and I down here at 21 in OJT catching me nenen to get pay. And you raise your pay. And he started to look at those things and he started to slip them in. So now when his song finishing now, he want to hear it. Obviously, because you get involved.
Yes.
And that's how I get him to listen to Calypso. And as I get him out, I rest you tell him now, it's Calypso. Hello. I started carrying back. I said, listen, you have to listen to Shadow. I know you're in OJT, but it's a system. And you have to use the system for your benefit.
Yes.
Don't allow it to frustrate you and you kick yourself out. So I say, and you're young, you're going to be looking for a girlfriend. So listen to Shadow. And I start to play. I start to play Somebody Go On You. Exactly. Yeah. And that's how we start to listen to Calypsos now. And we started using it as part of the conversation.
Right.
And that's how I get him to listen to Calypso. So the one after he listening now too. You understand? He's the content creator. Right. And I'm listening to these young voices and I'm realizing that the young people, these youths out here, have plenty to say, you know.
Yes.
But nobody listening.
And they say a lot of people want to talk to them.
Talk at them.
Yeah. They're not listening.
Yeah.
I come to talk to all of you. Meaning that I come to talk and I come to tell you I think you
but they're even talking to, they're talking at.
Correct.
Yeah, they're talking at them.
But that is the nature of how we just do things here. Just look at politics. It's election time.
Yeah.
You can't go not one political meeting now and be able to ask them questions when the meeting done. So the must come. ABCD, FGS, good night. I'm gone. If you get a good night, you're lucky.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Jam Hotel here. He
Right,
said there's no such thing as a bad Calypso.
Agreed.
And I agree with that.
So Mendoza said the greats should be performing as special guests. All of that. Right?
Sparrow Soulfish was a hit.
And
Yeah.
that was no exactly.
If I only hold you tonight, it's
Thunder.
thunder. Okay.
Yeah.
Jam it in the center.
Right?
Right there. Okay.
Somebody saying Sparrow, both of them,
Both of them.
he get licks for singing that, even though he didn't understand.
But I get licks
What he was singing.
if I only hold you tonight.
For singing it.
Yeah.
You could.
So now you might dilemma. You might dilemma.
I had no idea.
My daughter like Kokoti.
Well, all right then. You see what I mean?
But why we don't do why? Tell she don't sing that because
No.
I say something here, but Chuck just says he taught Marshall in university, but then saying Marshall singing shit. What does that sing about what Chuck does teach him?
I tell you, for me, it have a lot of questions that could be asked of the doctor.
Yeah.
Right? And I wish he is the type that you could sit down and ask him them questions on our forum. Right? Because I think it is highly.
I think you could. He's not one to not sit on a forum.
Right? Because we always quick the ball, this dying, that dying.
Yeah,
Look more witness here.
But who killing it?
How long I tell them it's not even getting killed right now. You know is the problem? Well, we could say that. The problem is it's not being shown. But when we look at the finals and watch some of the people age in the finals, most of them, plenty of them was under 40. Right?
No, that's another thing. That was a deliberate, I think that was a deliberate move. That's the word on the ground. That's what the gram say. Right. It was a deliberate attempt to bring more youths into the forum.
Yeah.
All right? And I have no problem with that. But at the same token,
it must be merit based.
Thank
That's
you.
my big thing.
Thank you. You can't just come with your foot wet.
Yeah.
Because you see the thing about it is you tell me I had to pay my dues. How much more dues I have to pay before you see me?
Yeah. Correct.
How much more dues?
Yeah.
Right? I won an international award this year. Anybody did they make note of that?
No.
Okay.
Tell me about it now.
Please.
I
like to celebrate it.
I won the AEA USA award for the best Calypso soca.
We're saying.
Yeah. AEA USA. Now, I so used to not winning anything in Trinidad.
Right.
And I say that without any shame. I'm so used to not winning anything that I got the nomination for that award, and I went about my business as usual. Passport in hand, but no visa. So because I don't win nothing here. Everybody has beat me.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm the only person. I don't think I make history being the only person to make 2 consecutive finals, pick one for the 2 years and place last the 2 years. I sang first in 2016, first in 2017, and placed last on the 2 occasions. So I was questioning, like, I didn't improve. Something was wrong with my song. In the meantime, when I go to sing, people saying, but you ain't singing a murder day? You ain't singing social media? No, I'm not singing that. Those are the 2 songs that I made 2016 and 2017. Right? Okay, well, moving along. So I take them on. Did not ask any documentation to go get the visa. So I did not go for the award. But the Caribbean ambassador was coming home. She's from Trinidad. So she was coming home for something and decided, you know something, we're not going to wait till next year for the next Ignite the Stage. I'm going to carry the award for Lady Adanna because she deserves it. Now, you can't, you win this award based on votes. People had to vote for you.
Right. Yeah, I vote.
I know.
Senator,
yes.
Right, yeah.
I remember that you voted.
Yeah.
The people had to vote for you.
Yeah.
And people vote.
So she's like somebody don't say, I remember when Lady Adanna won that award, Sheldon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, for the recognition, even at the Calypso 10th level, it was like little or nothing.
Yeah.
even though it was in the South Tuco office that I received the award.
And those things we have a problem with, you know. See, we don't celebrate people.
We like to do it after the dead.
Correct.
Thank God for the children.
Or there are two things.
America
After dead, or somebody something outside of Trinidad that we respect. Yeah. So let them say, Lady Adanna up for a Grammy.
Oh gosh.
For social media.
I will become Trinidad own.
One time.
You understand? Say, oh good. Yeah, all of a sudden.
But the day, now the thing about it is that AEA USA will grow up and get big one day, you know? Because I sure BT start off small.
They did.
You understand? So that whole award was started by he is of Cameroon heritage, but he lives in the US. He's a doctor.
Right.
Dominic, can't remember his surname right now, but they have this award where they award people within the diaspora for keeping African traditions alive. That's, to me, being who I am, that's a big thing. That's a big thing because it is an acknowledgement of my ancestral work. And it's not just Calypso, it's social content creators, MCs, the works. You understand? If you're doing community work and somebody knows, they could nominate you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you mentioned Tuco there. And you know, them is the people that are responsible for hosting some of the biggest cultural events in the carnival. Right? And we would have heard some stories of things that happen that not make the thing run so smooth or make it look biased, or you know. What do you think that somebody like an organization like Tuco could do to improve the experience of the Calypsonian?
The first thing we had to do is listen to the Calypsonian. We had to listen. Uneasy is the head. That wears the crown. It's uneasy. That is a given. But when you offer yourself up for that type of service, then people are going to take pot shots at you. But beyond that, listen to what is being said. Have consultations. Do surveys. Listen to not just the Calypsonian as well. Listen to the public. Because you're looking.
Correct.
You understand?
Correct.
I wouldn't see what you see, you know. Because even if I'm looking at the show, I'm looking at it from an artist's perspective. I'm not looking at it as an audience. Even if I'm in the audience. There are very few people who could separate it in your head. Right? So we have to listen to what the audience wants. Then we have to realize that this is a product. At the end of the day, this is a product that we are putting together. That we want to sell to the people. If you're not giving me something that I want to buy, I won't buy it.
And I think that go back to what Mendoza said earlier. You know, you see that when you look at the presentations and stage constructions and decor by the private promoters, you know, that was it kind of hard to sell. I love Skinner Park for the vibes, but it kind of, to the person who want to go to take out nice pictures and things, kind of hard to sell that to them. Even though, of course, Skinner Park is much more than a nice picture. But I think certain people involved in the running of some of these traditional cultural events stuck in an era that not applicable to today.
Well, it's the biggest picnic, and we're still trying to, but as the biggest picnic, what we offering apart from that? You understand? You walk up, I tell you, a backstage, and when I got to Skinner, in the first place, I catch my nenen to reach in the park. I am a contestant number 33. I have no idea where I'm going, even though I know where Skinner Park is.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I reach second ground. We get a parking. My husband said, I'm going to see what is going on. We go by the gate. Now, artists are parking. Artists can't enter here, no. This is the gate. I park here, the gate down by the end of the room. Artists can't enter there. I have my clothes. Now, when I make it to the competition, I just cater for my chorus, whoever going with me. Right. So I have a box with 25 boxes of food. And you're telling me I had to walk out of second grounds, walk up the side, go around and enter the gate opposite athletes. Make it make sense. And a right day.
No respect.
Right?
So
then a man
in the competition.
In the competition. So a man said, well, family best you go around and because the artist get on the next side, you know. Okay, cool, no problem. So I drive around and we come now to go through the gate opposite athletes, only to see a truck park up across the gateway. So we can't get in. So what to do? Well, let's go by the next gate. So we go on by Neil and Marcy Gateway, is called that one. Okay. To encounter a officer in uniform. Fire, to be exact. And he have attitude that he could sell. To tell me I can't go in Skinner Park. I said, Mr. Gentleman, there would be no show if it didn't have me and the 39 other people. Plus one. Said, you wouldn't be here for the extra duty if it wasn't for me and the 39 other people plus one. That's the reason. But there's an artist gate, isn't there? I say, what I'm trying to explain to you is that there's a vehicle blocking the artist gate.
Can't get in there.
I can't get in there. I have things in my truck that need to come out. I have no problem. We have no problem if it's just to enter so that we could take the boxes out and go and park somewhere. We have no problem with that. My boy decided to give me the attitude, the amperage of the attitude went up, but he didn't get the memo about me. So I told him, I said, I understand what is going on with you. I understand that Calypso and Carnival is going back to the plantocracy. And the little enslaved little Africans supposed to go and jump on the stage and hop around and entertain the hoo-hoo-hoo and the ha-ha-has. I'm not one. I said, so if you didn't know, I am not one. So I am telling you that I am going in the park. So he proceeds to go closer to the gate. And then the other side of me come out. The alter ego. Derice. I'm a middle name. So she come out. And I said, hi everyone. I am Lady Adanna. I'm contestant number 33. And this officer is telling me I can't get into the park. So I started to greet people. I said, look, my artist pass here, vehicle pass on the vehicle. And the officer is saying to me, I can't get in the park. So 2 ladies down and make her, Lady Adanna, what are you doing outside? I said, well, the man tell me I can't go in Skinner Park. Well, they take him up now. Because I know it, but I must have somebody to take my fight for me. To preserve my voice. Because I had to sing. And they started to heat him up now. So some people by the gate on the inside, make my Lady Adanna, what happened? I said, I need to get in the park. I have things to offload. I've been trying to explain this to the officer. Somebody calls somebody and somebody calls somebody and then they come now. Bacchanal. Meanwhile, he's telling the partner, pass wrong the band. Pass wrong. To come.
And it goes back to something you just said there.
Respect, boy.
You see that go back to plantocracy. That go back to light skins going ha ha he he. And Africans is the
entertainment.
See that? Because I always remember, let me tell you something that stick with me, boy. And that's why I'm so glad that Karen and I had the experience of working with Errol Fabian, Uncle Errol Fabian. Right? Because it was watching Gael, which at that time I would not be watching regularly. But I had just started liking Calypso. I only started liking Calypso as an adult. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
No.
And I remember
you're not alone.
What was his name again? Ha 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 hi. So laughed at with the quick advertisement at the end, sir.
Oh
Somebody
gosh.
else, man.
I'm
But
trying to remember the name. I know what you're talking
Lord
about.
Blakey,
Yes.
he was being interviewed on Gael. And something that stood out with me, and every time somebody bring up plantocracy and the Taking Back Carnival, where is the light skins own and running carnival, and we just make entertainment, I just remember that show. Because he say, the things that we did for Calypso, I performing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the top of performing, right? This is the top. Everybody had a performing a tuxedo top.
Mm-hmm.
The man say I stand up by a bar counter, so there's always seen up to a short pants on. Because I have to look well dressed. And they don't consider what we wearing as well dressed. So as I done sing, I just kind of back behind the curtain here, and I pass the tuxedo to you.
And
You
put
throw
it
it
on.
on, you come back right in that position, sing for them, they go, ha ha ha, he, he. I say, what? Are we going back to that? Boy? Like, you watching me to tell me how to dress. You watching a Calypsonian who have a pass in front of you. That mess with my mind. That, you know what I mean? That, like, and what is always anger me today, 50 years after Malcolm X said, they always send one a wee boy.
Yeah, man.
I know what one this is here. I know what's in there.
Yeah, they will. Let me read it for them.
Read it for them.
They will always pay one of us to kill one of us just to say it was one of us.
Yeah.
Mere coincidence.
And this is what is there's irkma with the African people who just claim, oh, it's not a system and it's not this and it's not that.
It's a system.
Yes, they do that. They send that like this man, whoever he is, watching you in front of him with a pass.
I tell him my passes. I took out the passes and I had my pass in my hand.
That
We
you could
put the
inspect.
vehicle pass on the windscreen.
Mm.
And I am saying, the thing about it is, I said I would like to go and offload. I didn't ask to go in the park, you know.
Yeah.
I asked to go and offload my things.
And come again.
We had no problem coming back out, you know, because I worked in Skinner Park as somebody who was coordinating the food court already. So I understand the dynamic that is going by that gate. I understand that. But by the time the gate was open, there was parks on the side there. No, you can't park there because certain people park done put aside already. And you can't park here because certain people park done put aside already. When we walked to where the artist parking was supposed to be, there were things blocking those parks there because somebody come in and they had to park there. And I didn't understand because where would the show be if there were no artists? And this is not something unique to the show. You go to other shows anywhere in this country, and the artists who are supposed to be the entertainment for the show getting the worst treatment. And I don't understand. I for the life of me cannot grasp how we don't respect the practitioners of the arts. It does not make sense. And that is why whenever I qualify for a competition or carrying anybody with me to perform with me, I just make sure there's water for you, there's snacks for you, there's food for you.
Because of your experience and not receiving those
right.
things. Yeah.
So you see, when I reach in the dressing room, the chorus was glad because they was hungry. There was food. And one of the chorus girls brought her sister. I said, darling, it have food, you know. You don't have to share your sister food. It have food for you too.
It's and $25 of food you say?
25 boxes.
And how much chorus you had? 4? 4. Right? That real food?
I carry 4. So that's the 4 chorus. My husband, my daughter, my son-in-law, who was coming to time ahead. I work with everybody. I just do a head count.
Can you imagine? Lady Adanna and Karen, can you imagine if the people who run in this entity thinking like that? Not just with the food, eh?
No, everything. And that's the thing, that comes back to the question that you asked. It comes down to listening. And you see, sometimes we get so thin-skinned that we miss the point of what somebody is saying because we're listening to the tone of what they're saying.
Oh my word.
Well, you can tell the Adanna while always saying,
Oh my word. Tone over topic.
I tell them I say too much away. But is a way to cop out though.
Yeah.
To choose to focus on the tone that you assume in my voice is the way that you would cop out of not dealing with the topic.
Yeah.
So you're choosing tone over topic to not deal with what I'm talking
So
about.
what? Exactly.
Right? And these so-called organizations, I say so-called organizations because it's not a mistake that these things still happen.
Yeah.
It's not a mistake, right?
It's not.
Karen trimming for the amount of time that he trimming. Nobody not coming by Karen 3 Saturdays in a row. If the first Saturday they get a zog, the second Saturday they get a zog, they ain't coming back the third Saturday. You understand?
Yeah.
You buy a jersey from me, and the second time you wear the print fall off, you ain't coming back again. These people are around long enough to fix these problems. But from what we heard, the money that is in it, the average person don't realize how much money floating around the place.
Yeah, but the artists don't get that.
Right. We talk about the artists here today.
No,
Yeah,
but that's
don't
We
get
talk
that.
about the organizations that are running.
Yeah. But that is my issue. My issue is, and again, as a radical, so plenty people ain't gonna like me out of the gate. Because I feel if I am the artist and I experienced that shit last year, next year you ain't doing me that, you know.
Hello,
You ain't doing me that.
Dr. Manai.
But you see, what has happened is, me and you, we go take our stand. But the other 38, 39,
People want to sing, boy.
them want to sing.
They want to, because everybody want to win.
That is it.
And listen to me. I made a stand. I remember the year 2016 was the last time I participated in the national queen competition.
Right.
I did not agree with the operations. I say, you see me, I'm not going. So when it hit me again in 2016, I done it already. I told them point blank, I ain't coming back. I won a top 20. And in the top 20, somebody said to me, see, Lady Adanna, look, you want to give up and you win a top 20. I said, it will be the last time I'm competing in your competition. I'm not coming back. That is my principled stance.
Yes.
And I don't give a Bluetooth. I said what I said. I ain't coming back.
Yeah. And that's what it is.
And that's what it is. Somebody tried to tell me, if you go in the Queens this year with that song you win, I say, well, we would never know. I ain't going.
Yes.
So one of the reasons why it will always continue to work just the way it works in here is because remember some people looking for the bread and butter.
Yeah.
So I was telling Karen and them I watch a 2-part documentary this weekend going on with leading black actors, male and females. One part was on the men, one part on the women. And something Gabrielle Union said stood out. She said, you think I wanted to act some of them roles I act? She said in some of them movies I act, you think I wanted to act in them movies?
Exactly.
Nobody enforced me, but I to eat.
Yeah, to eat. Yeah.
You understand? And it is so with a lot of them now. Like I would have heard somebody trying. What does that tell you? Tell them they're trying to encourage soca artists to come and go Africa. Nobody in Wago. The man say it have money to be made because of the amount of places to perform. Everybody gonna try and go to New York.
I will go Africa.
So that's the thing about it now. Like it has some solutions out there, but it have plenty of them stuck in the and I get it, And I'm gonna tell you why I get it, because for a long time I too, and I have to credit my brother with this, I had that coward mindset. The coward mindset of doing exactly what you know, go make it just in exactly where you need to just get by.
Yeah.
But at a point in time when you're tired of getting by. Like I tired of getting by.
Some of my choices cost me, you know. Some of my decisions costed me.
Right, exactly.
You understand? But that's
plenty
okay.
of them right now. They're playing this game here.
No, I still here.
Okay.
The two in the line. So
I
I hear one lady
know.
Adanna saying, no. But oh God, let me just try one
more
year.
time, yeah.
But that one more year when they catch
one
yourself,
more
I don't want to tell you that one more year turn it to 10.
Yeah.
Two in and not singing and then when they catch yourself now, you is 50 something years with 20 years experience in the art form with a 20-year-old child that want to come in, and then when you might realize, wait, now my child coming into the same thing. No, you go and tell that child who watching the parent be a Calypsonian the whole life. You go and tell that child it's not then Calypso.
That, look, you just described my conversation with my daughter when she told me she gonna sing soca. I said, are you mad? I said, girl, you don't see what I went through.
That happened to me.
I see you wasn't looking. Of all the things you want to tell me, you're gonna sing soca? Oh, Jesus. But at the same token, I said,
try.
If that's what you want to do, don't do this. Don't do that. I read the riot act that I get.
Yeah.
Because when I came into this business, it's Stoke St. Hill, God rest his soul. Stoke put me to sit down in my own gallery and read me the riot act before he carried me to the first rehearsal as a background singer in Calypso Showcase. I get the whole riot act. Because that come like my daddy.
Right. He boots it.
Yeah. You understand? And I told her certain things, but at the end of the day, right? If we really want to make backtrack, at the end of the day, we keep saying we want people saying they want we want Calypso to win a Grammy. And we want Calypso to win this. And the first thing Calypso have to win is our hearts, you know. Because we are only 1-point-something million.
Yep.
The amount of votes you need to get to win a Grammy, everybody in this country has to love Calypso and vote. And we ain't there yet.
Yeah. We don't love nothing like that.
We don't love ourselves. And it doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter what the genre of music is as long as it comes out of Trinidad.
Yeah.
There's problems. To get support.
You're telling me?
On every show we just end by saying supporters are action road. So in Trinidad, yeah. Before we head out, but it has one or two comments say that was
You see that last one, Mortal now say that? I was now going and say that. Where I was explaining this week here. Because that has been the topic since the whole bacchanal with the contract, with the Dragon Deal contract falling apart, right? And I looking at people celebrating this thing, boy, and I saying, Dread, something wrong with we. Something is wrong with us. Because this is not a red, a yellow, a blue, a green problem. You know, this is a Trinidad.
It's a red, white, and black problem.
868 is the code. I will tell you I need that on a jersey, please. Because you see this shit what going on in this country at this present moment, what it let me know is we have to bring back. Remember when we was going to school, social studies.
Social studies.
You have to know every borough. You have to know every county.
I think we have to go beyond that now, no?
Of course.
We need to model it against the civics.
Correct.
That's what we need.
Correct.
Not just knowing the borough and the county. We also need to know the laws and your rights. You need to be able. It's not just about reciting. I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. We need to understand what that means.
Yes.
What is service? What is service from the citizens' perspective?
Yeah.
And what is service from the politicians' perspective?
Yeah.
We need to understand that. And we need to start to let them babies know.
Yeah.
My little 3-year-old granddaughter is supposed to be going into preschool and understand that I am a Trinidadian.
Yes.
And coming out of Trinidad, Calypso is our national music.
Yes.
We have, and along with Calypso, we have steel pan. We have limbo. We have chutney. We have these are the artists. These are the icons. This is what I am responsible to do.
Yes.
We need to tell them at 3.
Yes.
We need to start to equip our citizens to learn how to invest and not just to spend. Because we have a set of children that know how to get our allowance to go and spend the money.
Yes. Not to save.
Not to save or invest it.
Yes.
And if we don't start to structure those things and bring that civics, that civic mindedness, that is where national pride is instilled from an early age.
That's
and
right.
you adapt it for this age, and then when they reach the primary school, they get a second dose. Adapted to that age.
Yes.
And when they reach secondary school, they get
Again.
again. And then they need to understand that when you go against the grain and you fight and kick somebody down in a drain, you're not only going to get not expelled from school. That's not going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
We're going to end up with some people, a set of people that can't read, can't write, can't count.
Yeah.
So they're upset with themselves and they're upset with society and they're upset with everybody.
Yeah.
So they turn
Gangster.
Instead of community service.
Correct.
Get inside the very community that you disrupt and fix it.
Yes.
And learn something while you're doing it. Somebody told me they don't agree with the boot camp thing. When Patrick Manning was talking about boot camp, we had a lot of dissenting voices. Instead of criticizing the actual boot camp, the actual idea, then input how we could improve it.
Yes.
Because we need that.
Yeah.
We need some kind of structure. It's not just about being militant.
Yeah.
It's not about sending them and telling them when to wake up and when to sleep and when to eat and when to go in the toilet.
Yeah.
It's about that discipline that comes with that type of training.
Yes.
The thing about it is that you're sending them in that situation because you're fighting in school. Well, go there. Exert that energy in physical activities.
Yes.
Learn to run, lift weights,
Something
swim, badminton, tennis, and study.
Yeah.
And get your grades up.
Yeah.
Civics in your head. So that you would understand. Because it's not too late to fix it, you know.
Yeah.
It's not too late to fix it. We just lollygagging along the way. And wasting precious time. And losing precious youths.
Yes.
And we can't continue doing that.
No longer need somebody say it like that. That's so important for we to keep saying, boy. See that last line? We losing precious youth. We're not hearing nobody describing like somebody get killed. Somebody dead.
Yeah, but that's somebody baby though.
You understand? But to say it like that now that we losing precious, because not everybody that was killed was involved in something negative.
Yeah.
Right? We living in a real fickle society now. Everybody easily agitated.
Yeah, people angry.
Yeah, you know. So you might be walking a car splash water, you know, and you like, hey, that's all you do, you know, a car splash water, and bam, you get bullet.
Yeah. People angry. But we see the anger. But we're not looking beyond to find the reason why. Why people angry. And it going back, you know. You might see an angry 40-year-old man here now. He angry, you know, but the education system failed him when he was 11. Right? The education system failed him when he was 11. So you have all those years of pent-up anger now. He's an angry 40-year-old.
True.
The anger didn't...
anger through his genetics.
Exactly. And he passed it on to the children. The anger didn't start today. So now the son slapping up a girl in a classroom. Well, but how the youth man could do that? Because subliminal anger passed down. You know?
Yes.
Because the father angry, you know, he sit down and he drinking something and don't bother me and it. So this young man now can't have a rapport with the father, and the mother telling him, you're just like your father.
Look, to
That's
add to that, right, Lady
that's
Adanna?
our next show.
To add to that is the images that we seen on TV. So, on top of the fact that you ain't getting warmth from your parents via love, via dealing a certain kind of way, you can get a hug up. You can get a, what you do today? Good. You can get them simple things, right? And big people are telling me that real people out here today. or they could never be my elders, or it's just my olders. Or they older than me.
I hear
Because
that.
plenty of older can give a young person love. Right?
I hear that.
Bam, now the TV have much more things on it. I mean, that's great now.
Yeah.
We had 3 channels.
Yeah.
The older people of them
I do.
had 1 channel. Right? And that 1 channel going to a certain time.
Yeah.
Right?
12.
Right.
And 6 o'clock in the morning,
You understand?
before it come on. Yeah.
These children now who again, no love, no warmth, no
24/7
comfort.
they on the
Right?
idiot box. And
But they're not seeing something that doing that for them to start to wonder how to get that. Or you know, have that conversation with the parent, don't look at this, no. All they see, violence, free, drugs, guns, glorified. Right? A music video to me right now is one of the most destructive things.
Yep.
Right? Now, when you have none of them thing on them, they know we watching to tell them always the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know there's a serious thing. I asked someone, last year hug up your son.
Hug up. Hug up who?
No, there's a serious thing.
No, I'm serious. People will ask you that. Hug up what?
Karen Churn this coming here and hug him up every evening.
They're supposed to.
You know, I say to people, we breed in some of these things.
Yes.
And then when Lady Adanna sings she song now, we give it no airplay, but we give the song that's celebrating Bossa Skull all the airplay, and then you're watching me to tell me that's not the issue.
That's one of the, you see what you're saying there? That's one of the reasons why I am overly available to my...
Lady Adanna for Prime Minister.
I am overly available to my grandchildren. And when I say overly, sometimes my poor husband is about, oh gosh, they will gabba you to death. Because if my grandson have an issue on work, he calls me on the phone, or he send my call me request. I father both him for that, but anyhow, he send my call me request, and I will call him. First thing, calm down, because when you're not calm, you can't think. So who angers you controls you. Calm down. Right? First lesson. The next thing is, when you come home, you ain't too big to hug me up. You could be 20. How much? I still older than you. Come and give my grandmother a hug. Come and give me a kiss. Whatever. And then we just lime home. So my boys learn to lime home. We cook food. We bring the speakers outside. We play some music.
Vibes.
And we vibes home. And when we're doing that, you're free to talk. We speaking free. This is the talk free day. And I used to do that with my girls. On a Friday, we used to have our rap session. Today, I'm your friend. They could tell me where. Let me trash it up. Any issues, let's speak about it. Tomorrow, remember as your mother. The line was only drawn, but the line was temporarily removed so that I could hear what's in your head. And then we put it back and we go back to the regular programming. But there must be some time set aside to listen. And sometimes we want to put the young people in a straitjacket and then pretend we want to hear them. But give them free. Sometimes you need the freedom. Let the emotions run and let them talk. You ain't going to come and cuss Hototo in front of me. No, I ain't taking that. But still, talk free. Let me hear what's on your mind. Because if I don't know what's on your mind, if I don't know what's bothering you, then how can we fix it? How can we fix it?
So, as I say, I just want to read out some Mendoza had say earlier.
It was 2016?
Mendoza had said earlier, I have a song released this year called Pay My Dues. Right? Mortel said the Ministry of Culture should be more prideful when coming to all the art forms offspring of Calypso. We should be respected and allowed because we are musical soldiers in the armies of the collective creatives. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, things will,
That's a profound statement.
Mendoza was saying, and I was thinking it when you said it, when you was talking about it, to get in the park now, he say, but he would have let one of the big boys pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right?
Plenty
Mendoza
of them
say
pass.
the artists are still considered court gestures. They never had respect for performers. They see you as a tool to be used for their excitement.
That's true.
Hey, by me, good night, boy.
So they were still in the house, boy. Now I think in a different time zone.
Oh.
In the desert right now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing about it now. We come from spaces and places. I could say that hug up something from a father, even my mother growing up, that wasn't common.
No.
Right? I do not doubt for a minute that they love me.
I hear that.
I do doubt that. But what I also know today is that is more than knowing that. Remember, I just reached to the stage now. I reached to the stage and I understand that now, but I understand how important it is. So what I think them didn't do, I just try to do with mine, but I also see the lack of it. Like, as a single parent, I either drop my daughter to school and pick her up every day. Right? Two things I just see in glorious abundance. The love and the dryness. So sometime in the morning I drop my daughter to school. The love I just see from children and between children and parents. Oh, sometimes I get my emotional, to be honest. But it's also sometimes you see a kind of dryness. It's literally see children. And sometimes I feel bad. Because you're seeing children watching you and your daughter interact.
And like they have a longing on the face.
Yes.
To experience that too. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Then in the evening is a different set of love now. So now the first love in the morning is, yeah, I love you, but I need to go because my friends are there waiting. But then the evening love is
happy to see you.
Yeah. And then you see the exact opposite too now, like, oh yeah, that's just my mommy or my daddy come.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's something I wish I could get across to the parents and them, especially to them young ones. So boy, that way you do give to them now, it will either mess them up going through the whole life, or they will try to find it somewhere that will mess them up same way.
Same way.
You understand? I sometimes I pray for that. The love I think the love that I think I given to my daughter, I pray that is enough for she to be a wholesome human being, boy. Because some of the things we deal with out there, some of the things you hear in these people are them cold.
Very. But look, there was a situation in my granddaughter's school. I'm not going to describe the situation, but it's just that when the conversation began and they started to tell my daughter certain things, and she come to me, she said, "But mommy, this is not my child," because they don't understand that my first granddaughter is love itself. You understand? If she come and she's to you and her blood take you, she hug you up. Right? Because that is the nature of the child. And she would come in school and she would see somebody and she hug up the child and she wanted to be friends with them, and the child didn't want that. And one set a hasikara. And my daughter was like, "But what is wrong with these parents? Why they getting in the little children thing?" Because this is innocence. She's 5. She was 5 at the time, and her friends are 5. They fall out now, and 2 minutes from now, there's the best of friends again. And the parents fueling a kind of discord between the children. And I'm like, why we just try to impose ourselves in children's space negatively?
We do expect them to respond the same way that we would not, like. So I tell them in like I do believe children of a certain age could fall out.
No, they don't. Them don't fall out.
They would not
They just
agree with
vex.
something.
They get vexed.
But
They
I don't
pout.
think that
No,
them
they
at a
don't.
certain age them could fall out now. Like.
No, boy.
So when I hear adults talking that talk, I watch that kind of way now. What I scared of, I shouldn't say scared, what I'm conscious of is the regurgitation. Because the regurgitation, go let me know what it is Karen saying inside. The trade that I'm hearing to come and say, because right now that is an incident being dealt with in a circle in my daughter's school right now. And what was said is not something against school. No, again home.
Home, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying to you? Right? Even me, as a proud African, that teaching my daughter, she's a proud African. One of the things I make it my business to tell my child is, you know you're not better than nobody, right?
Right.
But you know nobody is better than you neither.
Exactly.
You understand? So that nobody can, anytime they talk that better than talk, it also in the back of your head. That's where you're hearing.
They
right?
know what
So
they're saying. Yeah.
Right? Because I know it have people will try and use that against me at some point in time with the way I raise my daughter. I ask every day, who is you? As a Kente, as a proud African, as an African goddess. Every day.
If you remind me of when my girls were going to school, because I was a single mom at one time.
Right.
And when they go into school, you're beautiful. Remember that.
Yeah.
Always.
Always.
Basically the same conversation, sorry.
Yeah.
So one day, this young man decides to come to my big daughter. Polly, you know you're real beautiful. She said, yeah, my mother just tell me that every morning.
Try again.
Because that line ain't working. You understand?
Try again.
Now, the thing about it is, and I said that because, and I'm taking it from a female perspective now, because you preparing your daughter, I preparing my daughter, right? And I had to tell them, listen to me, you are a goddess. You are responsible for you. If you can't love you, get a man,
not going to fix that.
not going to fix that. Because the first person you have to love is yourself.
Gosh.
You see that vanity of vanity as an all is vanity, stupidness? I do encourage that. Because loving yourself cannot be vain.
Yes. Yeah, they try to sell you that.
Because if I can't love me, how can I love you? Right? And when all of that is part of what we had to start to put in these children's head. You see that regurgitation you're talking about spoken words.
Yeah.
But the regurgitation coming in actions too.
Come on.
Yeah.
And we seeing it every day. What is wrong with these children? And we call it. But then somebody called the children cockroach.
Oh.
And then we continuously speak about a generation of vipers. So we speaking all these negative things into the children's lives.
Yeah.
And then let me bring it home. I had said it before. You're watching your boy child. The father done angry already. You in your situation, you might be vexed too. And then you start to tell the boy, you're just like your father. And man ain't good. But if you're telling your son that man ain't good, he's not going to be a man.
What you growing up to be?
And if you're telling your daughter that man ain't good, then she father ain't good. So we had to be mindful of the things that we're saying to our children. What we say, how we say. You understand?
Yes.
My daughter father and I did not make it. But she can't sit down and tell you that I told her anything bad about her father. If there was anything for her to learn, she'd learn it on her own. Because at the end of the day, I went with this individual and I had you. So something had to be good for me to get there.
Yeah.
If it wasn't good, then it was against the law.
Yes.
And it wasn't.
Yeah.
Right? So something had to be good. The goodness flew out the window. Okay, no problem. I walk away from that. Use not to walk away from that because that's your father. We went to court. We had all of those things. And then one day, I called him on the phone. I said, let me tell you something. You see, the court system is a very subjective one. I know that's your daughter. I know you love your daughter. You see about you, you know. Don't mind what we never pay attention to what our God says. Because that did not make any sense to me. Because at the end of the day, I knew his economic situation, his financial situation. Sometimes you work, you get plenty, and sometimes you work, you get a little bit. So why am I going to take out a warrant? Because you get a little bit this month? That don't make no sense to me. Exactly. As particularly because he was saying about his child. I didn't want the money for me. I was working for my own. Right? And that is something that we continue. But I just get vexed with my sisters and them, boy. Because we're not looking beyond what the issue was. We are seeing beyond that. Okay. Me and you fall out. That's between me and you. I don't respect women that use children as pawns.
Oh my word.
And the regurgitation that hitting us in the school uniforms on the streets with kicking, coughing, and taking off shirts to fight is as a result of all them stupidness. And the women in society have plenty blame to shoulder.
Well, a woman saying it won't be a little easier than... Because I don't...
It'll be easier when it doesn't like me.
No, but it would be more respected because I don't. If I want to come across like I trying to bash women, I always tell people, I is not one of them men out here who could say, what? I don't want a woman again. I sorry, Oli. I can't. This thing that I call woman when it was created, what created knows exactly what it did, and I know I need that. Right. But
it's just to find the right one.
Yeah,
that's all.
I had the flip side of that now. I had the flip side where I have a other half that don't provide, don't do nothing. The time and just to see that she's not supposed to be here tonight. School closed. Whole day, you understand? And when we have in them conversation, I said to people, I see first person to burn out deadbeat fathers. But now that I'm in this situation, I want we to start to acknowledge deadbeat mothers as well.
Yeah, it have plenty.
Because watch, man, I didn't expect this. With your child.
No, there's some of us out here that we're not ready, boy.
Right? I didn't expect that. Like, a question I get a lot of people will be surprised that when it didn't work, I leave with my child. I didn't wait for nothing or leave. No. The day I move out. And I pack up my van.
You sound like my husband.
I take my child. Not once has it said, bring back my child. And people just find it so strange because it's a girl child. But I would have feel real guilty knowing why leaving you in.
Yeah.
You understand? And my mother raised me, so 5 are with my mother, right? My mother is a ruler. It wasn't plenty because, 5 people to pay for transport, and 6 transported easy. In whatever time you live in.
Yeah.
But when she had to,
she did.
My mother rolling with the 5 a week. My mother never leave we by this one or leave we by that one and thing. So I do have that in me now. I know that my mother stand up with my stepfather, and no matter how hard they get financially,
she stand up.
They stand up and they do what I had to do now. So I see it as what I do, but you telling me from that side. So I always just want to say, society, we acknowledge that there are men that don't see about the children financially, neither time-wise, because finance is not all. But let's also acknowledge that there are women that is do the same. So, yeah, boy, who really make a 2 hours?
That happened the last time I was here.
Such is the nature of these type of conversations, boy. Because I tell them, I say, I guarantee you can't go by the station on the promenade night, the one on Mahaval Road, and have this conversation.
No.
You can't do that. You can't go by now. All them, I tell people, I do hate.
I don't know for that.
No, I have things I hate. But the way we just use it as a slang, as in when you do like something, or when something doing good and you don't like it, like that kind of hate. No, I don't.
We have no time for that.
I want everybody live good. I just always say that. I want everybody live good. But it has some of them radio stations, and then when they listen to the announcers, they really try to sound intelligent and intellectual now. But only to certain things. And again, it's because all of them singing for the supper. So the station that you're working on, you can't say.
You can't say what you want.
Yeah, you can't say this and you can't say that.
True.
Right? So, Lady Adanna, we thank you for passing through again. Right? We definitely, it does have certain people that just had to come back. Right?
When you're ready now.
All of the Dumari's blessings for everything positive that you have to do again. And the next time you come in here, to bring the award.
Oi!
No problem with that, you know. I would do that.
Bring the award.
We will talk about that a little more on the road to.
Right, so Mortel say it again, Lady Adanna for Prime Minister. Right, so all the best and all the blessed. Thank you for coming through. Trinidad and Tobago. And anywhere else that looking at that, love is an action word. Support is an action word. And support do always means money.
No, it doesn't.
Right? In the world that we live in, right? This is what I tell you, and I want to watch the camera straight to this one. Here where is no half always fraud and all they do really support and love the people around all, right? That share button, click, 2 seconds. And you share your family or your friend business or music, something like that. That's all it is.
Yep.
Now, if you don't do that, that says to me, you don't care about that person, whether they do good or not, because you can't see past what them doing. Because all it takes, I just make it my business, and I know, honestly, I don't go looking. But one time I scrolling through, so I get it come up, share. Davison watches come up, share. Fireport come up, share. Because they're not taking nothing from me. I have an album on my page dedicated to black-owned business, right? But you have family and friends that don't share nothing from you. None of your music, none of your business, none of now when you go on the page and you watch what they're sharing.
Wow.
You're like, yo, so you don't I agree with that statement. Don't tell me you support me, but then pass up every opportunity to show me.
True.
Right? So love and action is
words.
Love and support is action words. Be careful on the roads. I mean, it's the kind of crashes and things we still see on the road is 2025. All of we know that, boy. Be careful on the road, and all we African communities, all the silly season here, we don't forget that after the 28th we are to live.
Peace.
Exactly.
Yeah? So more life and good health, my brother. Give thanks.
Then you maintain
December 7th, 9th.
All collective area has got meeting.
Every day I look around in my land, blood flowing like water. Another son or another daughter lying down on the side of the street, covered in a blood-stained white sheet. How much more? How much more? One saw a light at the end of a dark tunnel. All my hopes and energies I used to funnel toward the fruition of my nation's 2020 vision. Anxiety that I felt for a bright tomorrow has dovetailed into abject sorrow. Turn up my scope. Sometimes it seems there's no hope. Only pain and frustration moving through my life. I'm under a day, and I'm feeling the pain. I'm under a day like the people going insane. I'm simply sounding a warning by using this art form to solicit an explanation. For to love is divine, that's a maxim of mine. Bring the loving, leave the hate behind. With a murder a day, look one gone again. A murder a day like the people going insane. A murder a day, look I can't take this strain. Unrighteous, ridiculous deportment, encouraging retaliation. That's murder. Murder. Another murder.
Black to Black, Black to Black, with Kieran and Orisha Lachey.